Floyd has had the biggest pay-per-views in the history of pay-per-views. Most recently, of course, his fight with Manny Pacquiao. And Conor does the same thing in the UFC. The crowd was largely for Conor McGregor. I would say 90%. Now, Conor has, like, Ireland follow him to all of his fights, whether it's in the UFC and now in the boxing ring. And what happened was they have the setup. There was actually a pre-show. This was all on Fox Sports 2. So it was on, and Dana White introduced Conor, and I don't know that Conor knew that he was up there to give a speech, because typically in the UFC, they sit down the two opponents, they maybe do an intro, there maybe is a stare down, and then they're just questions. And then that's when the smack talking happens. But here, it was Conor on the mic for a while, and then Floyd on the mic for a while. Here's Dana White. You can see how sized he is, because the UFC brand, which 20 years ago was nothing, has slowly grown into, I would say, equal of boxing at least, if not greater than boxing. I mean, they have pay-per-views every month.
I think it's bigger than boxing.
And this is only going to help the UFC brand.
What's up, Los Angeles? Ladies and gentlemen, the reigning, defending, 155-pound champion of the UFC, the notorious Conor McGregor.
But it's a win-win for UFC, like you said, because they get all the notoriety, and even if Conor loses, he's kind of supposed to lose.
Right, and
it only helps their brand and legitimizes them.
And it does make you think. He's like, Conor said, I'm a fighter. I'm not a boxer, I'm a fighter. And in fighting, he's got to wrestle. He's got to know his jiu-jitsu. He talked about Taekwondo, Greco-Roman, all these different arts. And boxing is just one little part of it. Because you can kick a guy in the face. As he said, I like to crack my shin in guys' noses.
Yeah.
Shin bone to nose bone. So that began the hype, and then Conor gets on after the introduction and starts typing. And I want to bring this up to callers, and you can chime in at 800-636-1067 if you saw it. Your boy Yak Yak, who you play golf with on occasion, lives out by you.
Yep,
He's
Yak
part
Mouth.
of your corner club.
I call him Yak
He sent
Mouth.
me a tweet, and he said, JP, I haven't watched a boxing match in 25 years. He's like, but I'm sold from the hype of this fight. And I think people like Cakes won't even watch, like, the hype. But I think some people are going to be reeled in. You know,
I just don't get sucked in for an event that I know that I have no interest in, and I know I would never pay for.
You watched,
Yeah, but it's fun to
you
hang out
watched
with
the
people.
hype video that we showed you on YouTube yesterday.
Yeah, it was okay, but it's not spurring
didn't convince
me.
you?
It's not spurring me to
Well, like
buy
I said,
the pay-per-view.
like I said in the 6 a.m. hour when we talked about it, I'm not going to buy it. I really don't have that much interest in it. But after watching the YouTube video, I got a little bit sized. Now,
I'll give you an out under $100.
I'm bitching about the fact that it's going to be on so late. I just can't imagine me staying up that late on a Saturday night. I just go to bed early now because I'm old. But if my neighbor next door or across the street said, "Hey, I'm going to get the fight,"
right?
Come on over. I could be enticed.
I live too far away. I'm having the fight. I'm having people over.
There's no chance I'm going to your house.
You'd get home at like 2 a.m. I'd have to give you a bed. 800-636-1067. But here's Conor McGregor going
You'd have to give me a bed with your wife in it for me to go
And then we'll
there.
be playing some of the Floyd clips.
He's in a tracksuit. He can't even afford a shoe anymore. The roses are 2012 outside. He is There's no other way about it. His little legs, his little core, his little head. I'm going to knock him out inside 4 rounds, mark my words.
By the way, to Joan on somebody for having a 2012 Rolls Royce.
Yeah.
Well, I think you're doing okay.
These guys are in a different economic stratosphere.
So when they bleeped out, did he say he's effed or did he say he's poop?
No, he said
effed.
He's
F. I think that you could spell it with 2 O's if you want, is the way that he kind of pronounces it.
I got you.
Because he has that Irish accent going. Well, it's not an accent for him. He's Irish.
Yeah, the dialect.
So he kept bringing it towards Mayweather throughout the whole time.
He will be unconscious inside 4 rounds. The movement, the power, the ferociousness. He's not experienced this. He's fought people who have shied away from him. I don't fear him. I don't fear this limited set of rules that makes this half a fight, a quarter of a fight. This isn't a true fight. If this was a true fight, it wouldn't even take 1 round.
And that's where you're just talking about tackling somebody
well,
and
if he-
beating
if-
the pole.
If he
Oh,
took
if it
him
was
to
a
the
street
ground,
fight,
right?
yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
they would be over in 5
I
seconds.
mean, everyone understands that.
And so Conor just keeps going on. We'll keep playing these clips, but tell us if you've got sucked into this 800-636-1067, or if you're not buying it. Some people responded to the press yesterday that it reminded them of WWE and kind of turned them off.
I'm too silly. I'm too evolved to get sucked into this nonsense.
I'm a young, confident, happy man that has worked extremely hard for this. I have worked very, very hard for this. So I am just up here embracing everything. Nobody's going to do nothing. Nobody can do nothing up here to me. I can do what the I want up here.